Welcome to our weekly program, The Inside Story of Chabad in America through the Mindel Archives. I mentioned the last few weeks, I'm just reading letters that certain things, shittas of the Rebbe, the principles that the Rebbe holds. So today I want to share with you another letter, or maybe two letters of the Rebbe's shitta in certain things. So first of all, I want to say one paragraph here, and then I'll have another one. Because of Yud Shvat, I want to read about the Rebbe's sheet of Mashke. But here I wanted something else. Somebody asked the Rebbe about, they have girls, and the younger one, wants to get married before the older one. What should he do? Should we do that? So I'll let you what the Rebbe says. There is a custom in some circles, which is also our custom, that in a case where a younger daughter becomes engaged to be married before an older sister, it is a good thing that she should put aside some of her money towards the wedding expenses of her older sister. And that also the parent should do likewise, for obvious reasons. And then the Rebbe goes on, this is a personal this is a letter that I can read, but this paragraph is important, that the Rebbe feels that if a girl gets married, younger girl earlier, the sister should put money towards her wedding. That's one. Another thing that the Rebbe feels over here is about the Isser of drinking mashke. Now, let me first read this paragraph. You refer to what you have heard about my disapproval of drinking mashke, except during Efabringen and the like. Needless to say, this does not refer to drinking wine for Kiddush and Havdalah. Among the reservations which I mentioned is also the situation where an objective party considers it advisable to make an exception under certain conditions. Furthermore, the restriction applies to people up to the age of 40, and the limit is up to 3 liquor cups. So the Rebbe feels that about drinking, and a person that is under 40 should not drink. I mean, I just want to say, unfortunately, some people, they drink before 40, and this is befeilish. I'm not going to use other letters about that, but the Rebbe was very, very sharp about people under 40 not to drink mashke. Very, very important. Here I want a letter talking about mashke. I want to read to you a letter about Benedictine. You know that the Rebbe used to use Benedictine on his table in the early years, and then he stopped. And the reason that the Rebbe stopped, not because of kashrus, but because somebody had mentioned by the table that on the bottle, like there's a little tzelom. Looks like a tzelom. The Rebbe heard the word tzelom. From then on, the Rebbe stopped using Benedictine. But Benedictine is fine, and I'll read to you about that. This was written by Rabbi Mindel, and what the Rebbe said. There was a question. There are those who ask, why did the Rebbe Admur send Benedictine in particular, that this liquor is produced, as is well known, by monks, and the recipe is a well-kept secret by them. And how are we to be sure that it is kosher? This was a question. Now the Rebbe answered. It is already a custom of many years by Kved Kedushas, my father-in-law Admur, and also by his father, the Rebbe Rashab, to use Benedictine. And they were a number of times in the country, location, where this liqueur is produced, and they did not have any doubt as to it being mixed with wine. And it is also clear that the method of production has never been changed, and furthermore, and even more strong, there was an investigation in the matter again a few years ago, and this was again confirmed to be so. However, if not for the fact that this was the custom in my father's house, Rabbi Leivik, the Rebbe's father, over the generations, for which there is a reason that I will not go into it now, I would not have renewed this custom. So the Rebbe says, so I guess it was no problem then. Now he writes to this person, and I am happy that there are those who are careful in the performance of the mitzvah, like the ones who are questioning this. If only they would be as careful in all the positive and negative mitzvahs. So the Rebbe was very sharp about that. In other words, you're asking about this, halavai, you should be careful in other mitzvahs, b'chlal. You know, sometimes, I guess, people make a ikar, a toffel, and a toffel and ikar. So you're a chassid, you want to know about Benedictine, where what about the other, are you up to doing other mitzvahs, or do you do other mitzvahs? Whoever wrote this letter is not important. But here I want to mention, I think I once mentioned it a few years ago, and I heard it from my father-in-law, that on Pesach, by the Frierdiker Rebbe, there was a man, they served borscht, beets, soup beets, red. And there was somebody there who was not a Chabad. You know, Chabad is very careful in Shruya, in not dipping in liquid, Pesach, very, very careful. But this person didn't know, it's not a halach, it's a hidur. So he took a piece of matzah and he dipped it into the borscht. I mentioned that once. So the Bachrim was standing there, and they were very, very, it was a whole tumult there. I mean, they told him, whatever. It was they didn't mamish embarrass him, but he didn't feel right. So the Frierdiker Rebbe heard the commotion. So he turns to Rabbi Shmuel Levitin and he says, "What's the commotion here?" So he told him that this person dipped in a matzah in borscht. So the Frierdiker Rebbe turned to the Bachrim and he said, "Es ist besser machen die matzah rate wie the ponim rate. It's better to make the matzah red than the face red." So the same idea, sometimes a person, here's the ik, he takes, the face, to make a face red, this is a halacha, but this is embarrassing somebody. Matzah is, of course it's important, but it's not as important as embarrassing somebody. Same thing also, people are very much about Benedictine, but they have to know that there's other things. I guess this person had to be told that. Now here's one more thing on the same page I have here. A question that somebody asked the Rebbe. Why is it on the same page? I don't know. It has nothing to do with that. A question. In some circles, in the places that are close to Lubavitch yard, Chotzer, they are speaking about the increase and strengthening Hafotzes Hamayonis, as the activities of Chabad are called. Are there plans for the future to continue to increase in this, in Hafotzes Hamayonis? That's what they asked the Rebbe. So the Rebbe answered, it is essential a rule in this matter of goodness and holiness. Mailim b'kodesh, we increase in holiness. So it is certain that the people of Chabad are putting in great effort to do this increase in Hafotza. Of course, Hafotza. But now is an opportunity and the right place for me to make an objection against the use of the expression chotzer, yard, in the chotzer of Lubavitch. The Rebbe didn't like the word chotzer. You know, by other chassidim, I know Belz uses the bells are hoif, the getter hoif. By Lubavitch there is no hoif. The Rebbe doesn't like that. And he explains why. In connection with Chassidus in general, and Chassidus Chabad in particular, there is a situation where a yard is used as a passageway from the outside to the house. But this is not the case of Teiras HaChassidus, which is compared to a house full of light and warmth of Torah and mitzvahs and Ahavas Yisrael, and not a chotzer, not a yard, which is an expression that the maskilim, the enlightenment, that's what they use to support it, made up. Not only that, but base Lubavitch, house of Lubavitch, or Chabad house, is open wide to all who want to get warm from the light of Torah and mitzvahs with the fire of her chassidus. And this is, the Rebbe felt that so we see how the Rebbe was medayik every word, that they didn't like to use the word chotzer. Why is it on that same page? I don't know, but this is what I see. So here we have a hero, as I told you a few weeks ago, that there are certain rules that the Rebbe feels, and I think we should hold by these rules. In the Mitzvah Hashem, we will continue our weekly program next week. Thank you.